In today's world, so much has been seen and discovered that many believe there's nothing left that will surprise them. But we're here to tell you, nope, that's not the case. This earth is filled with strange and unusual things that you may never have known existed. In today's list, we'll dive deep into the topic of unusual people. Make sure you join us until the end to see our number one pick, because you will definitely be surprised. Before we jump in, don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment unusually unique to be entered in this month's $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Good luck! Now, let's get started with...
Number 10. Fu Wengui. Fu Wengui became a major story worldwide when stories of his having 10 vertebrae became major news across the globe. Born and raised in the Chinese capital of Beijing, Fu Wengui's health challenge brought him to fame, but on a personal note, he had to cope with the pain of having 3 extra vertebrae in his neck, and in 2014, Fu Wengui's father told reporters that his son's rare condition makes it difficult for the boy to walk properly. When he was 6 years old, Fu was diagnosed with congenital scoliosis and an abnormal chest frame. In response to Fu Wengui's rare health complications, a Beijing-based charity organization announced that they would be funding his neck correction treatment cost. An excited Fu Wengui told reporters that he was tired of being stared at in public and hoped to get his life back on track after the surgery.
At number 9, Yu Zhenwan. Yu Zhenwan is not just the hairiest man in China, he is actually the man with the hairiest body in the world. About 97% of his body is covered with hair, according to the Guinness World Book of Records in 2002. In some quarters, Yu Zhenwan is often called the Monkey Man because of the level of hair in his body. Born in China in 1979, Yu Zhenwan is not strange to the entertainment industry and has been participating actively in acting. At a very young age, his contemporaries often teased him by calling him the caveman because of the volume of his hair on his body. And because of this rare condition, he has starred in popular movies such as Little Hairy Boy's Treasure Adventures. While his hair condition might have earned him a place in the World Book of Records, the condition also comes with its own challenges. In 2009, Yu Zhenwan was said to have undergone operations in an attempt to remove his body hair because he complained that the hair, especially the ones in his nose and ears, makes it difficult for him to breathe and hear properly. His last known operation to remove his body hair was in 2009.
At number 8, Pitiro Biakatonda. Your first glimpse at Pitiro Biakatonda would probably make you think he's an alien, but no. He has no superpowers. The Ugandan native is sadly a victim of an unusual ailment known as Cruzon syndrome. His condition happens in every 25,000 births, meaning a good number of the world's population may just belong to this family. However, Pitiro Biakatonda's case is about the most extreme one you will ever find. The young Ugandan has a deformed skull that forces his ears down and his eyeballs hanging out of their sockets, thereby leading to serious drawbacks in his sight and hearing conditions. Living in a remote village far from the community hospital meant Pitiro Biakatonda could not receive treatment at birth. He grew up to become the subject of ridicule in his hometown and would spend most of his time indoors. Pitiro would later meet a doctor kind enough to help him through a reconstructive surgery that nearly cost his life. Luckily, he prevailed and currently enjoys a happy life. Number 7. Priyanshi Soman. Priyanshi Soman's mental calculation prowess was discovered by her parents when she was just 6. Priyanshi Soman's ability to calculate effortlessly spun her parents to encourage her to study mathematics-related courses with a fellow prodigy brother. By the time Priyanshi was 11 years old, she was already competing with other mathematicians way older than her age in India and around the world. In one of the mathematics competitions Priyanshi was involved in, she solved all of her questions in a record 6 minutes and 28 seconds to beat off competition from participants from 37 other countries. Through her participation in the World Mental Competition, Priyanshi Soman won 5 trophies. After her triumph at the Mental Calculation World Cup, Priyanshi Soman was announced as India's ambassador for World Mathematics Day in 2011. The following year, the mathematics genius set another record for the fastest calculation of square roots. Number 6. Aelita Andre. Aelita Andre's journey into the art world can be traced to her family art studio. Speaking on their daughter's interest in painting, the Australian couple said Alita's first touch with the painting started when she was just 9 months old. Alita's father said when she was 9 months old, Alita was attracted to the canvas, which he normally places on the floor whenever he wants to paint. He told ABC News that Alita got closer to the tube, pressed it, and unlike most kids, she didn't try to touch her mouth with it. Instead, she was trying to imitate his flow of painting. Alita's first public show took place in Melbourne in 2008, and by the time she hit 9 years old, she had already successfully hosted shows in multiple cities like London, Hong Kong, Italy, St. Petersburg, and New York. Speaking on what inspires her painting, Alita said she's largely influenced by things around her, especially her dog and some movies she's seen. Number 5. Kim Goodman. Would you have ever believed that anyone could pop out their eye sockets by 12 millimeters? Well, this might be a difficult task for many, but it's not the same for Kim Goodman. This woman has the largest eyeballs in the world. According to her, she was not born that way, and she only discovered that she could pop her eye sockets out by 12 millimeters after she was hit by a heavy object on her head. Kim can pretty much control her eyes and pop them out on cue. And because of her eye socket popping, she's become known internationally. And in 2004, she was inducted into the Guinness World Book of Records during their 50th anniversary as one of the top 10 feats of all time.
At number 4, Julia Gnus. Face painting and body tattooing is an artist's expression, but some don't stop at one part of the body. They go way beyond normal. And that is exactly what we get with Julia Gnus. Popularly known as the Illustrated Lady or the Irvine Walker, Julia, who was born in 1955, has successfully tattooed 95% of her entire body. This hasn't gone unnoticed, as she has held the Guinness World Book of Records while in her mid-30s as the most tattooed woman in the world. For Julia, tattooing her entire body is one of the most reasonable means of hiding the scars on her body caused by porphyria, a rare condition where sunlight rays on the skin cause skin blisters. Although the tattooing was designed to be a solution to prevent the blisters from showing, that hasn't been the case. Despite going on a tattoo adventure, the skin blisters on her body are still very much visible.
Number 3. Charlotte Garside. It's often said that kids are, in some ways, pint-sized versions of our adults. But compared to our normal-sized kid, Charlotte was way smaller. According to research, a newborn child should weigh between 5 and 8 pounds. But this was not the case with Charlotte, who weighed only 2 pounds at birth. This development was most unsettling for her parents and the doctors alike, as Charlotte had to spend the first 13 weeks of her life under strict observance from medical personnel. It was believed that Charlotte was suffering from a rare genetic disorder known as primordial dwarfism. People who usually suffer from this type of Charlotte's condition die early on in their life due to health complications, but this doesn't seem to be the case with the Garside child, who continues to hold on and brave the odds. At number 2, Shubham Banerjee. In 2014, Shubham Banerjee developed a bootstrap that reduced the cost of reading materials for visually impaired people from $2,000 to $350. At the time, the tech prodigy was 12 years old. Although the device was designed when he was 12, when he hit 13 years old, he was able to secure funding for his life-changing product from Intel Global Capital Summit. Shubham Banerjee is one of the youngest technopreneurs in the world, and he's also the CEO of Brago Labs based in Silicon Valley. At number 1, Carlos Rodriguez. We've heard stories of many horrific accidents that have left people permanently disabled, but that of Carlos Rodriguez is quite amazing. Carlos didn't always look like he does today. He had a perfectly formed head just like anyone. However, after taking his fill of some booze and drugs when he was only 14, he grabbed a stolen car and rammed it into a pole. This accident sent him flying through the windshield until he brutally landed on his head on the pavement. Ever since then, his head has remained with half a brain. It's a surprise that he survived such a brutal accident. And that wraps up today's video. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like. And don't forget, turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video from Star 5. Thanks for watching.